and just speaking to the motion, I'm certainly for the motion to have another public planning process meeting. I was hoping that this would be the final one, frankly, but I hope that at the next one, a lot of or all of the questions that were phrased today will be responded to, and also to staff as well, or to staff. If we already know that the peer reviews and the reviews from the various Lake Simcoe Conservation Board, as well as the York Region and School Board, and the traffic reviews, they've all been done, and they seem to have passed, and I don't refute that, but I think that some of the residents still have questions about it, and I think if one of the questions that we can have answer to is, what is the standard? Have the standards moved at all over time, or should we have a different standard that we should be looking at as well? Because obviously, with respect to traffic, no one believes that that's an accurate assessment, and so I understand the hesitancy and their doubt, and maybe some of those questions can be responded to as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Marcus. We're getting close. I'm sorry? Councillor Perry.
Just keeping in mind we have to be out of here in 15 minutes. I'm looking forward to moving on to the next steps and seeing what kind of progress can be made. We've all, I think, stated around the table that a 10-story building seems very high. Seeing some progress on that, I think, would be beneficial for all of us. One sticking point I keep hearing for the residents, single-loaded roads. If the developer and the group of developers can come forward and I guess let us know their final and best offer on that, what they are proposing, what can be changed, what can be, altered. It's great for us to sit up here and say, we want to see action on these things, but I think if we don't identify some of those items, they might get missed. So one way or the other, I just want to see what their comments are on what we're hearing, and if there is an opportunity to ditch the single-loaded roads. But ultimately, I think that's all going to come forward at the next meeting, and it's not going to come forward right now. So hopefully there's an opportunity to have those conversations.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Marcus.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess I just want to quickly leave everyone with a couple of comments. I didn't realize we were going to get into that. I just figured I'd ask a question.
Well, just you're allowed to speak to the motion.
Sure. I think we're all in favor of responsible growth, and I think that we're all in favor of smart growth. And when I say smart growth, that's growth that's on our terms. And what I mean by that is so that the Aurora that we have is the Aurora that we want. And when I look at our official plan, I don't think it's the Aurora that's in our terms to be built the way we want it. And it does not fit the criteria. So therefore, it's not the Aurora that we want, definitely. So last meeting, I asked the proponent that I was hopeful that they would come back with some meaningful changes, which many of us have been looking for, and that hasn't happened, and I'm disappointed in that. I was ready to go a different route tonight, but unfortunately we will be moving forward to another public planning, and I think that we can work together to hopefully come to a resolution to this, but I'm hoping that the proponent does listen to the concerns that we all have and come back with some modifications, and not just some meaningful modifications as we've asked for, so that way we can move forward with a plan that works within our terms and within our official plan. So therefore, we can all be in favor of this and move forward in a proper way. Otherwise, I don't see any way that this would move forward. And those are my comments for tonight.
Councillor Gardner, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And if we're looking at what we want to come back at the next meeting so that we don't waste the residents' time, we have municipal planning principles. Those are the principles that we need to stand by. And it was mentioned here, what are the planning principles that council should be looking at? So apart from our official planning principles, and in addition to them, it was mentioned community values, community concerns, preference, economic values, cultural impacts, environmental impacts, and precedent for the whole Aurora community. So when this report comes back, I would like to see those things addressed in that report.
Councillor Humphries and Councillor Tomlin, we are running into a time crunch, so if I could ask you to be brief, please.
But through Mr. Mayor, and my apologies, just one last time, just a couple of things. First of all, I wanted to thank everyone here that's here and spoke, because it's not easy to get up and speak in front of the public. I know what that feels like, and you've done an amazing job. You've done your homework, and you sounded fantastic. You made it clear for us. Oscar, you brought me back to my parents who immigrated here. You're a rock star, so are they, and I totally understand. And having our democratic right here tonight is what it's all about. But again, coming back to the next planning session, I think the other councillors have covered it well. Having these answers for us, and to work with the developer who I know is willing to work, our staff who's absolutely willing to work together, and the residents. I think let's try to look at this positively and come up with some great answers to all your concerns, and hopefully we can have something we can all be proud of.
Thank you. Councillor Thompson.
Trying.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to make another comment that it escaped my mind when I was making my previous comment, is that, and I'm not sure if Councillor Abel mentioned it or not in his remarks, but I do feel that if there is going to be negotiations between both the condominium board and the Ratepayers Association, I really feel like a representative of the town should be present at those meetings, if only to ensure that every single concern that every one of you has brought and that everyone at this table has brought forward is present in those negotiations. So all I would ask is that I hope that that process will take place, and I do hope that a member of the town staff will be there. Thank you.
Councillor Kim.
Yes, just one more point. I was just really encouraged that Geranium and the Ratepayers Association, as well as the Condo Corporation, are speaking, and that they are finding some kind of common ground. How much, I'm not sure, but I was very encouraged by that, and I feel encouraged that at the next meeting there will be something for us to look at. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillors, all in favor of the motion, please. Keep them up. Contrary? That is carried. Thank you. Members of the public, the meeting is over. Thank you very much for coming out. Don't run away. Because there was a gentleman who was asking where on our website the issue of the MPAC assessment was. So if you go to aurora.ca/HighlandGate, and if you actually just go to our website and you see the scrolling pictures, you go to Highland Gate, go to the bottom, there's a document there, the June 24th public planning meeting is in there. We're going to take that information out and we'll move it over to the FAQ section. So thank you very much for coming out.
Confirming bylaw adjournment, please.
Councillors, confirming bylaw, please. Councillor Abel, Councillor Thompson, all in favor of the confirming bylaw? Contrary? Carried. Motion to adjourn, please. Councillors Gardner and Maracas, all in favor? Contrary? That is carried.